Apparently, Jesus did not come, because we're all here. Ron Weinland. Good news. Ron Weinland has posted an explanation of why Jesus did not show up on the day he thought for sure he would, which is May 27th, 2012, Pentecost. Get some coffee, because we're not going to throw the man on a bus, but we're going to try to understand what brings about this thought process, this reasoning, that man thinks that for some reason he can set the date of the return of Christ when we have absolute, verifiable scripture from Jesus that it cannot happen that way. Hang on a second. The Lord can give you prophecies. The Lord could reveal to you a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, a prophecy, a message in tongues with interpretations. These are all part of the spiritual gifts. There is fivefold ministry gifts. There are some apostles, prophets, pastors, teachers, and evangelists. And if you do declare, you don't have to be a prophet, which is one of the fivefold ministry gifts, to get a prophecy or a dream or a vision. You may get one. It may be prophetic, and it could be a dream. The old men are going to dream dreams. The young men are going to see visions. And upon my handmaidens and servants I will pour out of my spirit, thus saith the Lord. It was prophesied that would happen in Joel and confirmed by Peter on the day of Pentecost, which is today, by the way. Pentecost 2012. It is May 27, 2012. Okay, now that we've said that, I was concerned that Ron Weinland was going to commit suicide or create a suicide pact with a few of his close advisors and supporters, like many have done in the past. Reverend Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid in Guyana, okay? The Applegate over in California with the Nike tennis shoes and the purple blankets. 17 people committed suicide, thought they was going to be raptured up on the tail end of a Hale-Bopp comet. There have been dangerous end-of-the-world doomsday cults that have happened throughout history. And I was concerned, not that Ron Weinland was one of those, but I was concerned at the depression and the anxiety and the realization that he missed it because he thought God had something special for him, and he missed it. I thought it was over for him. But I just read from his website at www.ronaldweinland.com, if you want to read it for yourself. He says, with the expression that best describes some of my emotions and empathy toward God, church at this time, is that of a heavy heart, though many have ridiculed and shook their head in disbelief of what we have published for this world over the past few years, and they will undoubtedly become worse after this time. I understand there's disbelief. I also understand our belief and our holding fast to the truth that God has revealed to us. The reason people disbelieve what you're saying, Ron, is because you're setting a date. Jesus said specifically in Matthew 24:36 and in Mark 13:32. I'll read Mark 13:32. Jesus said these words, "But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father." Okay? That is why people are shaking their heads. Not because you missed it, not because they don't believe Jesus come back. Because I'm going to tell you something. I believe Jesus is coming back. I believe he's coming back soon. I believe we can see the signs of his coming all around us. But I have not been spoken to by God to set a date. He has not given me a date. He hasn't given you a date. He hasn't given none of these folks in history a date. Neither will he give us a date. Matter of fact, he showed Daniel something, but told him to seal it up in the book. And he showed John, the last of the 12 apostles, something when he was writing the book of Revelation, but he told him to seal it till the end. Now, here's some other predictions that have not went well. McQuire Hoffman said the world was going to end in 1531. He missed it. Sabadai Zevi said that the world would end in 1666. He missed it. Johann Zimmerman said 1694. He missed it. George Rapp said in the near future, back in 1804. He missed it. William Miller set a date in 1843. He missed it. Henry Adams said it was going to happen in 1950. He missed it. Alexander Bedward said December 31st, 1920. He missed it. Herbert W. Armstrong set a date twice, 1972 and 1976, of which he missed it. Now, Ron Weinland is a descendant, or I should say a disciple in a way, of Herbert W. Armstrong. Okay. John Strong set a date, October 1978. He missed it. Edgar Weisnut set a date, 1988, when he wrote the book 88 Reasons That Christ is Coming Back in 1988. He missed it, so he said, whoops, I was off a year. It's 1989. Sold a lot more books again for another year, and he missed it. And then the Jehovah's Witnesses, the entire organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, have set various dates, 1914 for one, 1976 for another, and others. Okay? Now, you've had Harold Camping, who set a date in the 90s. I can't remember if it was 1997 or where, but it was right in there. He missed it. Then he was sure. He was so sure he spent $100 million advertising with billboards and television campaign and radio ads that it was last year, May 21st, 2011. He missed it. Then he said, whoops, miscalculation, 6 months off. It's October 21st, 2011. He missed it. And he has repented and said, you know what, I made a mistake. So we forgive him. Now, Ron Weinland set a date for today, May 27th, 2012. Ron realizes he's missed it. Now, next month, we got another date. It's this guy called Jose Miranda, who says he is Jesus Christ in the flesh, and that all of his followers need to get tattoos of 666. He's from Mexico. He has followers in Mexico, America, and in Canada, and you know. He says June 30th, 2012, that he, not saying Jesus is coming back, he's saying he is Jesus. He's saying that June 30th, 2012, he is going to become immortal. He is going to transform into immortality. And his followers, who all have the mark of 666, will transform with him and be taken to a new civilization, and the rest of the people on the planet will die. These are things happening. I'm reading from a book by Perry Stone, if you want to get more information. These statistics I got from Perry Stone, plus I'm telling you others that I know. And he has a book out called Unusual Prophecies Being Fulfilled. Okay, Perry Stone. All right, just to let you know where that's one of my sources. Ron Weinland says this. Here's the good news. He's not going to commit suicide. Here's why. He goes on to say, we have indeed gone through many mixed feelings over the past few weeks as we have approached the Pentecost of 2012. The anticipation of such an event right up to the last minute reminds me of Abraham when he was about to follow through with the sacrifice of his own son. The feelings, the emotions of such a time cannot be understood nor appreciated until having experienced something similar in faith. We now relate more to Noah than we ever did in the past, such as pleasing God, that people remain faithful to the end. Thank you. And as I consider these truths, I understand the outrage some will manifest by these words. I also understand the relief that God has given me to see what he's revealing concerning another way. Okay, his way. Well, Ronald, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Here's the final words of Ron Weinland. By the end of this day, in the last time zone for this Sabbath day, if Jesus Christ has not begun his return to the earth, then we will do as minister in the Netherlands said to me today concerning this. We move forward. So don't worry. He's not going to commit suicide. I believe God has spoken. We've answered. We've prayed that God would prevent him from doing that. He's going to move on. He's going to move forward. Ron, do that, please. Move forward. But stop setting dates. You just now went into another statistic in the Perry Stone files. Don't set dates. Jesus is coming when God the Father sends him. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Send me a personal message.